Tonight, we explore strange medieval superstitions, bedtime history to drift off to. Let these quiet stories carry you gently into sleep. In a small village where candles guttered in wooden windows, people said a black cat crossing your path at night meant the devil had noticed you. So they tucked a sliver of iron beneath the door and traced a tiny cross into the bread before supper, just in case. Church bells murmured over the fields, not only to call to prayer, but to chase storms and spirits away. And if the moon wore a pale ring, mothers whispered it promised rain within 3 days. Settle in. We'll wander, unhurried, through the omens they feared, the charms they trusted, and the odd little rituals that made their nights feel safe. In a time long ago, when the world was cloaked in mystery and the night sky was a tapestry of stars, there existed a quaint village nestled in the rolling hills of medieval Europe. This peaceful hamlet, with its thatched cottages and cobblestone pathways, seemed to be cradled by time itself. The villagers lived simple lives, their days marked by the rhythm of the seasons and the gentle passage of the sun across the sky. Yet, beneath this tranquil surface lay a tapestry of beliefs that intertwined fear and fascination, a world where superstitions wove their way into the fabric of everyday life. The village, with its lush meadows and whispering woods, was a place where the boundaries between the natural and the supernatural often blurred. As dusk fell and the shadows lengthened, the villagers would gather around the warmth of their hearths, sharing stories passed down through generations. These tales, rich with the lore of their ancestors, spoke of unseen forces and mystical creatures that roamed the land. It was a time when the unexplained was often attributed to the whims of spirits or the influence of ancient magic. In this medieval world, superstitions were a curious blend of fear and wonder, shaping the villagers' perceptions of the world around them. The ringing of church bells was not just a call to prayer, but also believed to ward off storms and evil spirits. The sound echoed through the valley, a comforting assurance that the village was protected from harm. Similarly, the practice of placing iron horseshoes above doorways was thought to repel witches and bring good fortune to the household. These beliefs, though rooted in fear, offered a sense of control over the unpredictable forces of nature. The villagers held a deep reverence for the natural world, seeing it as a realm of both beauty and peril. The dense forests that bordered the village were home to creatures of legend, such as the elusive wood sprites and the fearsome dragons that were said to guard hidden treasures. To venture into the woods without a protective charm was considered foolhardy, for it was believed that the forest spirits could lead travelers astray. This respect for nature was mirrored in the villagers' agricultural practices, where rituals were performed to ensure bountiful harvests and avert natural calamities. Medieval superstitions were not confined to the realm of the supernatural, but also extended to the everyday lives of the villagers. The phases of the moon were closely observed, as it was thought that certain tasks, like planting crops or cutting hair, were best performed during specific lunar phases to ensure success. The waxing and waning of the moon were seen as powerful influences on human affairs, guiding decisions and shaping destinies. In the heart of the village stood a small chapel, its stone walls covered in ivy, where the villagers sought solace and guidance. The church was not only a place of worship, but also a sanctuary from the mysteries of the night. Here, the flickering candlelight cast gentle shadows, and the air was filled with the soothing scent of incense. The villagers believed that the prayers offered within these hallowed walls could protect them from the malevolent forces that lurked in the darkness. As the night deepened, the village would fall silent, save for the occasional hoot of an owl or the rustle of leaves in the breeze. The villagers, cocooned in the warmth of their homes, would drift into a peaceful slumber, comforted by the belief that they were safeguarded by the protective charms and rituals that governed their lives. These superstitions, though perhaps puzzling to the modern mind, provided a sense of order in a world that was often unpredictable and mysterious. In this enchanting medieval setting, the line between reality and imagination was a delicate thread, woven with the stories and beliefs of those who called this village home. It was a world where the past and present coexisted, where the unseen was as real as the tangible, and where the mysteries of life were embraced with both trepidation and wonder. And so, from this tranquil beginning, let us drift further into the strange beliefs of the Middle Ages. These quiet superstitions shaped the lives of those who walked before us, and their whispers still echo softly across time. Together, we will wander through tales of omens and charms, of curious rituals and lingering fears, each one a reminder of how deeply the unseen once touched the everyday world. In a time long ago, nestled within the folds of history, a period flourished rich with stories and beliefs that shaped the lives of those who lived during it. Known as the Age of Belief, this era stretched across centuries, weaving a tapestry of religion, folklore, and superstition that guided the hearts and minds of its people. Between the fall of the Roman Empire and the dawn of the Renaissance, a world emerged where the mysteries of existence were often cloaked in the shroud of the unexplainable. Religion played a central role, offering a framework within which the people could understand their world. The church, a beacon of light and authority, stood as a pillar of medieval society. It provided not only spiritual guidance, but also explanations for the natural and the supernatural. The divine was omnipresent, and the faithful believed that both blessings and misfortunes were manifestations of God's will. This belief system was reinforced by the clergy, who wielded significant influence over the populace, interpreting the scriptures and shaping the moral compass of the age. Yet, alongside the structured teachings of the church, folklore thrived, adding layers of wonder and fear to everyday life. Folktales and legends, passed down through generations, carried with them the echoes of ancient pagan traditions, blending seamlessly with Christian doctrine. These stories, shared in the glow of a hearth or under the canopy of stars, painted a world alive with mythical creatures, enchanted forests, and hidden realms. They offered explanations for the unexplainable, a way to make sense of the unpredictable nature of life. Oral tradition was the lifeblood of this storytelling culture. In an age where literacy was a privilege of the few, the spoken word was a powerful tool. Through storytelling, knowledge was preserved and disseminated, ensuring that the lessons and beliefs of the past were not lost to the sands of time. Bards, minstrels, and storytellers traveled from village to village, their tales evolving with each retelling, adapting to the needs and fears of their audiences. Superstitions, too, spread along these oral pathways, their origins often obscured by the mists of time. Superstitions served as a bridge between the known and the unknown. They provided comfort and a sense of control in a world where uncertainty was a constant companion. When faced with the mysteries of nature or the capriciousness of fate, people turned to these beliefs as a means of protection and explanation. A black cat crossing one's path might be seen as an omen of misfortune, while a horseshoe hung above a door could ward off evil spirits. Such practices, though seemingly simple, held profound significance for those who adhered to them. The medieval period was a time when the boundaries between the natural and the supernatural were porous, and the line between reality and imagination was blurred. Superstitions were not merely idle fancies, but were deeply woven into the fabric of daily life. They influenced decisions, dictated rituals, and provided a framework for understanding the inexplicable. Whether it was the belief in fairies who danced in moonlit glades or the fear of witches who wielded dark powers, these superstitions reflected the hopes and anxieties of the people. As the medieval world evolved, so too did its beliefs. The Crusades, for instance, brought Europeans into contact with the Islamic world, leading to an exchange of ideas and knowledge. This cross-cultural interaction enriched the tapestry of superstition, introducing new elements and reshaping old ones. Likewise, the rise of universities and the gradual spread of literacy began to challenge some traditional beliefs, setting the stage for the intellectual awakening of the Renaissance. Yet, despite these changes, the allure of superstition remained strong. It spoke to something fundamental within the human spirit, a desire to find meaning and connection in a world that could often seem vast and indifferent. The stories and beliefs of the Age of Belief remind us of the power of imagination and the enduring need to seek out the unseen forces that shape our lives. As the night deepens and the stars twinkle overhead, let us take comfort in the knowledge that we are part of a long tradition of storytellers and dreamers. With this foundation, we'll delve into specific types of superstitions, exploring the myriad ways in which they touched the lives of those who came before us. In the dim glow of flickering candlelight, medieval life unfolded in a tapestry woven with mystery and wonder. During this era, omens held a profound place in the hearts and minds of people, guiding them through the uncertainties of existence. These signs, whether found in nature or everyday occurrences, were believed to be messages from the divine, offering glimpses into the future or warnings of impending events. Among the most common omens were those observed in the natural world. A comet streaking across the night sky was often seen as a harbinger of change, sometimes foretelling disaster or the death of a great leader. The appearance of a solar eclipse could evoke fear, interpreted as a sign of divine displeasure or an omen of war. Birds, too, played a significant role in the medieval understanding of omens. The flight patterns of ravens and crows, for instance, were scrutinized for clues about upcoming battles or the fate of loved ones. A lone crow cawing at dawn might be seen as a warning of misfortune, while a flock flying north could signal a prosperous harvest. Dreams held a special place in the medieval psyche, often considered windows into the future or the subconscious. People believed that dreams could reveal hidden truths or foretell important events. A dream of a serpent might suggest betrayal, while a vision of a blooming rose could symbolize love or new beginnings. Skilled interpreters, sometimes known as dream readers, were sought out to unravel the complex symbols and messages found within these nocturnal visions. Omens influenced decisions and actions in various aspects of medieval life, from personal choices to matters of state. Before embarking on a journey, a traveler might consult an astrologer to determine the most auspicious time to set out, ensuring safe passage and success. Kings and nobles, too, were not immune to the sway of omens. A favorable alignment of stars could prompt a ruler to launch a campaign, while a series of ill portents might lead to the postponement of important decisions. The reading of omens was not solely the domain of the powerful and privileged. Common folk, living in close harmony with the rhythms of nature, also sought guidance from these signs. Farmers, for instance, would look to the behavior of animals or the patterns of the clouds to predict the weather and decide when to plant or harvest their crops. A ring around the moon might signal rain, prompting a flurry of activity to secure the harvest before the storm arrived. In the bustling marketplaces, merchants would often pause to consider the omens before striking a deal. The chirping of a cricket or the sudden appearance of a butterfly might be interpreted as a positive sign, encouraging a transaction. Conversely, The unexpected shattering of a glass or the howling of a dog could be seen as a warning to proceed with caution. Omens also played a role in predicting personal fortunes and misfortunes. A sudden chill in the air or the unexpected fall of a picture could be seen as a warning of illness or death. Conversely, the discovery of a four-leaf clover or the sighting of a shooting star might be taken as a promise of good luck and prosperity. In matters of love, the appearance of a white dove could be seen as a sign of a forthcoming union, while the breaking of a mirror might foretell 7 years of heartbreak. The interpretation of omens often involved a blend of tradition, superstition, and intuition. It was a practice passed down through generations, with each culture and community adding its own unique interpretations and meanings. This rich tapestry of beliefs created a world where the boundaries between the seen and unseen, the known and unknown, were constantly shifting. While the modern world may view these practices with skepticism, in medieval times, omens provided a sense of order and understanding in a world filled with uncertainty. They offered comfort and guidance, a means of making sense of the unpredictable twists and turns of life. In this way, omens served as both a mirror and a map, reflecting the hopes and fears of those who sought their counsel. As we leave behind the mystical world of omens, our journey through medieval life continues. Next, we will explore the fascinating realm of medieval medical practices, where the art of healing was as much about faith and ritual as it was about science. In the heart of the medieval period, a time shrouded in mystery and enchantment, medicine was a curious craft woven with threads of superstition and ancient lore. The healers of this era, often herbalists rooted in the wisdom of their ancestors, practiced their art in a world where magic and medicine danced together beneath the moonlit sky. Herbalists, the guardians of nature's secrets, played a pivotal role in medieval medicine. They gathered plants from the wild, believing each leaf and root held a spirit and a purpose. The elderberry, for instance, was cherished for its protective qualities, thought to ward off evil spirits and ailments alike. Such beliefs were deeply embedded in the culture, where the boundaries between the natural and the supernatural blurred seamlessly. Superstitions were the compass guiding many medieval remedies. The doctrine of signatures, a prominent belief, suggested that the physical characteristics of a plant indicated its healing properties. For example, the yellow flowers of St. John's wort were used to treat jaundice, as their color mirrored the ailment's symptoms. This mystical association between appearance and utility was a testament to the era's imaginative approach to healing. In the shadowy corners of village huts and castle chambers, healers concocted potions and poultices with a touch of the arcane. A popular remedy for headaches involved binding a wolf's tooth to the afflicted person's head, a practice rooted in the conviction that the animal's strength could be transferred to the sufferer. Similarly, the skin of a snake, symbolizing renewal and transformation, was sometimes worn to cure skin diseases. The role of the healer was not confined to physical ailments alone. Emotional and spiritual afflictions were treated with equal reverence. To banish melancholy, a common remedy involved carrying a piece of amber, believed to capture the sun's warmth and dispel the shadows of sadness. The healer's role extended beyond the physical realm, offering solace and hope in a world where the unseen held sway over daily life. Magic and medicine were intertwined in the medieval mind, creating a tapestry of belief that shaped the healing arts. Charms and incantations were as vital as herbs and ointments. A healer might whisper a secret spell over a brew, invoking the protection of benevolent spirits. The power of words, spoken with intent, was thought to amplify the remedy's efficacy, bridging the gap between the earthly and the ethereal. In this era, the moon held a special place in the healer's practice. Its phases were believed to influence the potency of herbal concoctions. Gathering herbs during a waxing moon was thought to enhance their healing properties, while a waning moon was deemed ideal for treatments aimed at banishing illness. This celestial connection infused the healer's work with a sense of cosmic harmony, aligning earthly endeavors with the rhythms of the heavens. The medieval healer's toolkit was a blend of natural wisdom and mystical insight. Garlic, for instance, was revered not only for its medicinal properties, but also for its ability to ward off malevolent forces. It was hung in doorways and worn around the neck, a pungent talisman against the unseen dangers lurking in the shadows. In the bustling markets and quiet glades, healers shared their knowledge, passing down traditions through generations. Their practices were a reflection of a world where the tangible and intangible coexisted in a delicate balance. The healer's art was a testament to human ingenuity and the enduring quest for understanding in a time when science and superstition were intertwined. Medieval medicine, with its blend of superstition and practicality, offers a glimpse into a past where healing was an art as much as a science. The herbalists and healers of this era navigated a landscape rich in mystery, drawing upon the natural world and the unseen forces that shaped it. Their legacy is a reminder of the enduring human spirit, ever seeking to unravel the mysteries of life and health. As the night deepens and the stars cast their gentle glow, the story of medieval medicine reminds us of a time when the world was alive with wonder and possibility. Having explored the realm of healing, we'll now turn our gaze to the protective charms and talismans that offered comfort and security in a world full of unknowns. In the dim glow of candlelight, medieval households often turned to charms and talismans to shield themselves from the unseen forces lurking in the shadows. During the Middle Ages, a time when the line between the natural and supernatural was blurred, these small objects were believed to hold immense power. They were thought to guard against misfortune, illness, and malevolent spirits, offering a sense of security in an unpredictable world. The types of charms used during this era were as diverse as the people who relied on them. Amulets, often worn around the neck, were a popular form of protection. These could be simple stones or intricately carved pieces of wood. The materials chosen for these charms were believed to hold specific powers. For instance, amber was thought to possess the ability to ward off illness, while coral was used to protect children from harm. Metals such as iron were also favored, as they were believed to repel evil spirits. Iron horseshoes, in particular, were hung above doorways to prevent malevolent entities from entering the home. Symbols played a crucial role in the creation of these protective items. The pentagram, a 5-pointed star, was one such symbol, often inscribed on amulets to invoke protection. This ancient symbol was thought to represent the 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, and spirit, creating a harmonious balance that could keep evil at bay. Another symbol, the eye, was believed to watch over the wearer and deflect any ill will directed their way. The cultural significance of these charms and talismans cannot be overstated. They were deeply embedded in the fabric of medieval life, transcending social classes and geographical boundaries. In a time when science and medicine were still in their infancy, these objects provided a tangible means of addressing the fears and uncertainties of daily life. They were often passed down through generations, becoming treasured family heirlooms imbued with the wisdom and protection of ancestors. In the rural villages and bustling towns of medieval Europe, the use of charms was not limited to individuals. Entire communities would come together to create protective symbols and rituals. For instance, the practice of carving protective symbols into the beams of houses or barns was widespread. These symbols, often referred to as witch marks, were believed to guard against evil forces and ensure the safety of the inhabitants and their livestock. The creation of these charms was often entrusted to skilled artisans who understood the properties of various materials and the significance of different symbols. These craftsmen would carefully select the elements that would imbue the charm with its protective qualities. The process was as much an art as it was a spiritual practice, with each piece crafted to meet the specific needs of its owner. In some regions, specific plants were also used as protective talismans. For example, the herb rue was believed to have the power to repel witches and evil spirits. It was often hung in doorways or worn as a garland to provide a protective barrier. Similarly, the use of vervain, a sacred herb, was thought to bring blessings and protection to those who carried it. The significance of these protective items was not only practical, but also deeply symbolic. They represented a connection to the unseen world, a way to harness the forces of nature and the divine for personal protection. In a time when external threats were numerous and varied, from disease to invasion, these charms provided a sense of control and reassurance. The belief in the power of charms and talismans was so pervasive that it extended beyond personal use. They were often incorporated into larger rituals and ceremonies, serving as focal points for communal gatherings. These rituals, steeped in tradition and folklore, were an important aspect of medieval life, providing a sense of unity and shared purpose. Even the design of these objects was carefully considered. The shape and form of a charm could enhance its effectiveness, with circular shapes often used to symbolize eternity and completeness. This attention to detail reflected the deep respect and reverence for the protective powers these objects were believed to possess. As the medieval period progressed, the use of charms and talismans evolved. New materials and symbols were incorporated, reflecting changes in cultural beliefs and practices. However, the core purpose remained the same: to offer protection and peace of mind in an uncertain world. In the quiet of the night, as families gathered around the hearth, these small objects served as a reminder of the protective forces at work in their lives. They were a testament to the enduring human desire to seek comfort and security, to find solace in the belief that unseen forces could be harnessed for good. And so, with the gentle glow of the hearth and the protective charms close at hand, medieval families could rest a little easier, knowing they were shielded from the unseen threats of the night. From protection, we turn to the feared realm of witchcraft. In the dimly lit corners of medieval Europe, a whispering intrigue surrounded the mysterious world of witchcraft. This fascination was woven tightly with threads of fear and wonder, creating a tapestry of tales that danced through villages and towns. The shadowy figure of the witch, often misunderstood, was both feared and revered. She was seen as a keeper of ancient secrets, a bridge to the mystical, and sometimes a harbinger of misfortune. The very idea of witchcraft stirred imaginations, conjuring images of moonlit rituals and cauldrons bubbling with mysterious potions. Herbs played a pivotal role in these stories, their scents and properties believed to hold the power to heal or harm. These plants, plucked from the earth, were thought to be infused with the essence of the natural world, offering protection or peril depending on their use. In the hands of a skilled practitioner, herbs like sage, rosemary, and thyme became tools of transformation. Sage, with its silvery leaves, was often burned to purify spaces, its smoke believed to ward off malevolent spirits. Rosemary, with its pine-like fragrance, was thought to strengthen memory and protect against nightmares when placed beneath a pillow. Thyme, a symbol of courage, was used in amulets to protect warriors in battle. The societal impact of these beliefs was profound. shaping communities and influencing behaviors. In a world where explanations for natural phenomena were scarce, witchcraft provided a framework for understanding the unexplainable. It offered a narrative for why crops failed or illness struck, often attributing these misfortunes to the influence of a witch. This belief system created a duality where witches were both sought after for their knowledge and feared for their perceived power. Herbs were not only tools for witches, but also for those seeking protection against them. People would hang bundles of herbs above their doorways or carry sachets filled with fragrant leaves to ward off evil. The use of herbs for protection was a common practice, deeply rooted in the collective psyche of medieval society. These practices were passed down through generations, becoming a part of the cultural fabric. Historical records from this period reveal a complex relationship with witchcraft. In some regions, witches were respected as healers and midwives, their herbal knowledge invaluable to their communities. In others, they were persecuted, accused of consorting with dark forces. The fear of witchcraft led to trials and executions, where mere suspicion could result in dire consequences. This fear was fueled by a lack of understanding and the human tendency to scapegoat in times of crisis. Despite the fear, there was also a deep fascination with the idea of harnessing the unseen forces of the world. Stories of witches flying on broomsticks or transforming into animals captured the imagination, blurring the lines between reality and fantasy. These tales were not just entertainment, they served as cautionary tales, warning of the dangers of straying too far into the unknown. The role of herbs in these narratives cannot be overstated. They were the tangible link to the mystical, a way for people to interact with forces beyond their comprehension. Whether used in love potions or protective charms, herbs were a testament to the enduring human desire to influence fate and protect loved ones. As the medieval period progressed, the perception of witchcraft began to shift. The introduction of new ideas and the gradual spread of scientific thought started to challenge old superstitions. However, the allure of witchcraft and the use of herbs continued to captivate. Even today, these ancient practices find echoes in modern herbalism and alternative medicine, a testament to their enduring legacy. In the quiet moments before sleep, one might imagine the rustle of leaves and the soft glow of moonlight illuminating a solitary figure gathering herbs by the forest's edge. This image, steeped in history and mystery, reminds us of the deep connection between humans and the natural world. The stories of witchcraft and herbs, woven into the fabric of medieval life, continue to enchant, offering a glimpse into a world where the line between the ordinary and the extraordinary was beautifully blurred. With witchcraft explored, let's turn our gaze to animal lore. In the shadowy corners of medieval Europe, where flickering candlelight cast long shadows in stone-walled chambers, the world was alive with mystery and magic. This was a time when animals were not merely creatures of the earth, but were woven into the very fabric of human belief and superstition. They were seen as omens, messengers, and magical beings, their lives intertwined with the destinies of men and women. Consider the raven, a bird that has long been associated with prophecy and insight. In those distant days, the raven was often seen as a harbinger of doom, its dark plumage and haunting call echoing through the mists of time. People believed that a raven perched on a house could foretell death or disaster, its presence a warning from the beyond. Yet, despite its ominous reputation, the raven was also revered for its intelligence and was thought to possess the ability to traverse the worlds of the living and the dead. The owl, too, held a place of significance in the medieval mind. With its ability to see in the dark, The owl was perceived as a guardian of secrets, a creature that could unveil hidden truths. It was believed that owls carried the spirits of the departed, guiding them safely to the afterlife. The owl's hoot was a sound that could chill the heart, for it was thought to signal impending misfortune. Yet its wisdom was sought after by those who dared to seek knowledge beyond the ordinary. In the forests and fields, the wolf prowled, a symbol of both fear and fascination. Wolves were often seen as embodiments of the untamed wilderness, creatures that could not be tamed or controlled. Tales of werewolves, humans cursed to transform under the full moon, were whispered around hearths, instilling both dread and wonder. The wolf's fierce loyalty to its pack was admired, and in some legends, it was believed to be a protector of the innocent, a guardian spirit watching over those in need. Amidst the medieval tapestry of belief, the cat held a dual nature. On one hand, cats were associated with witches and sorcery, seen as familiars that aided in the casting of spells. The black cat, in particular, was feared for its supposed connection to dark magic. Yet, cats were also cherished for their ability to keep vermin at bay, and their enigmatic grace was admired. In some cultures, a cat's presence was considered a blessing, a bringer of good fortune and prosperity. The serpent, slithering silently through the undergrowth, was a creature of profound symbolism. In medieval lore, snakes were often linked to the idea of rebirth and transformation, shedding their skin to emerge anew. However, they were also seen as cunning and deceitful, their forked tongues whispering secrets and lies. The serpent's image was used in heraldry and art, representing both the danger of temptation and the promise of renewal. The stag, with its majestic antlers and graceful form, was revered as a symbol of purity and nobility. In the dense woodlands, the sight of a stag was considered a sign of divine presence, a creature that could lead one to spiritual enlightenment. Legends told of the white stag, an elusive being that appeared only to those pure of heart, guiding them on quests of great importance. Amidst the medieval menagerie, the dragon reigned supreme in the realm of myth and legend. These fearsome creatures, with their scales and fiery breath, were believed to guard treasures and ancient secrets. Dragons were both feared and respected, representing the ultimate challenge for knights and heroes. Their presence in stories served as a reminder of the power of courage and the eternal battle between good and evil. In the tales passed down through generations, animals played vital roles, their characteristics and behaviors serving as metaphors for human virtues and vices. They were woven into the very essence of folklore, teaching lessons of bravery, wisdom, and caution. Through these stories, the people of medieval Europe found ways to understand the world around them, to make sense of the mysteries that lay beyond their grasp. As the night deepens and the stars begin to twinkle in the velvet sky, one can imagine those ancient storytellers, spinning their yarns by the glow of the hearth. The animals of their tales, both real and imagined, continue to captivate us, reminding us of a time when the boundaries between the natural and the supernatural were blurred. From earthly creatures, we look skyward to celestial events, where the dance of the stars and the moon cast their own spell upon the world. In the quiet expanse of the medieval night, when the sky was a tapestry of stars, celestial events were imbued with profound significance. These heavenly occurrences were not merely astronomical phenomena. They were seen as messages from the cosmos, woven into the fabric of human life. The medieval mind, ever curious and often superstitious, looked to the heavens for guidance, interpreting eclipses, comets, and the movements of planets as signs of divine will or foreboding omens. Eclipses, those rare moments when the sun or moon was obscured, were often viewed with a mix of awe and dread. In a time when scientific explanations were scant, the sudden darkening of the sky could easily be perceived as an unsettling portent. Many believed that a solar eclipse signified the wrath of the gods or heralded the death of a ruler. Lunar eclipses, too, were fraught with meaning, seen as a time when the moon was under attack by dark forces. To ward off these perceived threats, communities might gather to make noise, hoping to drive away the malevolent spirits they believed were responsible. Comets, with their fiery tails streaking across the night sky, were equally enigmatic and feared. These celestial wanderers were often seen as harbingers of change, foretelling events such as wars, plagues, or the fall of kingdoms. The appearance of a comet could send ripples of anxiety through medieval society, as chroniclers and scholars sought to interpret its meaning. The Bayeux Tapestry famously depicts Halley's comet as a sign of impending upheaval, linking its appearance to the Norman conquest of England in 1066. The influence of astrology in medieval Europe was profound, shaping the lives of both common folk and nobility. Astrology, the study of the movements and positions of celestial bodies and their supposed influence on human affairs, was a respected discipline. Astrologers were consulted for a variety of purposes, from determining the most auspicious time for a battle to predicting the outcome of a harvest. The alignment of planets was thought to affect everything from personal fortunes to the fate of nations. Astrological beliefs were deeply intertwined with the medieval worldview, which saw the universe as a complex, interconnected system. The stars and planets were thought to be linked to the elements and humors, influencing health and temperament. A person's birth chart, or horoscope, was believed to reveal their character and destiny, guiding decisions about marriage, business, and even medical treatment. The celestial sphere was also a source of comfort and wonder. The constellations, with their mythological associations, provided a sense of order and familiarity in the vastness of the night sky. Stories of gods and heroes were mapped onto the stars, offering a celestial narrative that connected the earthly realm with the divine. In this way, the heavens were both a source of mystery and a canvas for human imagination. Amidst the superstitions and interpretations, there were those who sought to understand the heavens through observation and calculation. Medieval scholars, working within the framework of the Ptolemaic system, developed intricate models to explain the movements of celestial bodies. While these early astronomers were limited by the tools and knowledge of their time, their efforts laid the groundwork for future advancements in the field. Yet, despite the burgeoning interest in scientific inquiry, the allure of celestial omens persisted. The heavens were a mirror, reflecting the hopes and fears of those who gazed upon them. In times of uncertainty, when earthly answers were elusive, people turned their eyes skyward, seeking wisdom and reassurance from the stars. As the night deepened and the stars twinkled above, the medieval world found itself in a delicate balance between superstition and emerging science. The celestial events that unfolded in the heavens were a reminder of the vastness of the universe and the mysteries that lay beyond human understanding. They were a source of wonder and fear, inspiration and caution, guiding the rhythms of life in ways both profound and subtle. In the gentle embrace of the night, the stories told by the stars offered a sense of continuity and connection. They wove together the past and the present, the earthly and the divine, creating a tapestry of belief that spanned generations. And as the celestial dance continued, those who watched from below found solace in the knowledge that they were part of a grand and mysterious cosmos. From the heavens, we return to daily rituals on earth. In the heart of medieval Europe, daily life was steeped in rituals and beliefs that shaped the rhythm of existence. Superstitions, Those whispered traditions passed down through generations played a pivotal role in the everyday lives of people during this time. As the sun rose and set, these beliefs wove a tapestry of meaning and mystery into the mundane activities of meals, sleep, and work. In the medieval household, the day often began with a simple yet significant act, the lighting of the hearth. This was not merely a practical task, it was imbued with superstition. The fire, a symbol of warmth and protection, was carefully tended to ward off evil spirits. It was believed that allowing the fire to extinguish could invite misfortune. Thus, families took great care in maintaining the flame, seeing it as a guardian of the home. As the day unfolded, meals were surrounded by their own set of superstitions. Bread, a staple of the medieval diet, was treated with reverence. It was customary to mark a cross on the loaf before cutting it, a practice believed to protect against evil and ensure the bread's purity. Salt, another essential ingredient, held its own significance. Spilling salt was considered an ill omen, a belief that persists even today. To counteract the bad luck, one might toss a pinch over the left shoulder, a gesture thought to blind the devil lurking behind. The act of eating itself was laden with meaning. The number of people at the table was carefully considered, as 13 diners were thought to bring bad luck, echoing the Last Supper's ominous association. Meals were often accompanied by silent prayers or blessings, invoking protection and expressing gratitude for the sustenance provided. These rituals underscored the belief that food was a gift, not to be taken for granted. As daylight waned, the approach of night brought its own set of beliefs. Sleep, a vulnerable state, required protection from unseen forces. It was common to place an iron object, such as a knife or a horseshoe, near the bed to ward off malevolent spirits. Dreaming held particular significance, with dreams often interpreted as omens or messages from the divine. People might recount their dreams to wise women or local healers, seeking guidance or reassurance. Work, too, was intertwined with superstition. For farmers, the cycles of planting and harvest were guided by lunar phases and celestial signs. The moon's influence was thought to affect the growth of crops, and certain tasks were timed to coincide with specific phases for optimal results. Blacksmiths, on the other hand, might whisper incantations over their forges, believing that these words imbued their creations with strength and protection. In the bustling workshops of artisans and craftsmen, tools were considered extensions of the worker's spirit. It was common to perform small rituals to bless these implements, ensuring they would not fail at a critical moment. Superstitions also dictated the timing of certain tasks, as beginning a new project on a Friday was often avoided due to its association with bad luck. The cultural significance of these superstitions cannot be overstated. They provided a framework for understanding a world that was often unpredictable and harsh. In an era where science and technology were not yet fully developed, these beliefs offered comfort and a sense of control. They connected individuals to their communities, as shared rituals and practices fostered a sense of belonging and continuity. Moreover, superstitions served as a bridge between the material and spiritual worlds. They reminded people of the unseen forces at play in their lives, encouraging a sense of humility and respect for the mysteries of existence. Through these daily rituals, individuals found meaning and purpose, weaving a rich tapestry of tradition that endured through the centuries. As the night deepened and the village settled into slumber, the day's superstitions gently faded into the background, whispering promises of protection and prosperity for the morrow. The moon cast its silvery glow over the fields, where the cycle of life continued, unabated. From daily life, we move to the fields with farming superstitions. In the heart of medieval Europe, where the land was both a provider and a mystery, farming superstitions took root as deeply as the crops themselves. These beliefs, woven into the fabric of daily life, shaped the rhythms of planting and harvesting, guiding farmers through the unpredictable dance of nature. It was a time when the line between the earthly and the mystical blurred, and the success of a harvest could hinge on rituals and charms believed to sway the forces of fortune. The moon, with its silvery glow, played a pivotal role in agricultural practices. Farmers watched its phases with reverence, believing that the celestial body held sway over the growth of their crops. The waxing moon was thought to be the ideal time for planting seeds, as the increasing light would draw the sap upwards, encouraging robust growth. Conversely, the waning moon was reserved for weeding and pruning, when the retreating light was said to pull the sap back into the roots, strengthening them. Stars, too, were consulted, their positions marking auspicious times for sowing. The appearance of certain constellations heralded the beginning of planting seasons, their patterns serving as a celestial calendar for those who tilled the soil. Farmers would look to the night sky, seeking guidance from the heavens to ensure their labors would bear fruit. Weather, an ever-volatile companion, was both feared and revered. Superstitions abounded, offering insight into the whims of the skies. A halo around the moon was seen as a harbinger of rain, while the cry of a cuckoo might signal an early spring. Farmers would often whisper charms to ward off storms, beseeching the elements for mercy and favorable conditions. Rituals were an integral part of farming life, their roots stretching back to ancient times. It was common for farmers to walk the boundaries of their fields at dawn, a practice known as beating the bounds, which was believed to protect the land from harm. Some would bury offerings in the corners of their plots, perhaps a coin or a piece of bread, as a gesture to appease the spirits of the earth. Charms, too, were employed to ensure a bountiful harvest. A farmer might carry a rabbit's foot for luck or hang a horseshoe above the barn door to ward off evil. These talismans, though simple, were imbued with the hopes and fears of those who depended on the land for survival. The planting of crops was often accompanied by specific rituals, each with its own purpose. It was said that peas should be sown on Good Friday to ensure they would thrive, while beans were best planted at dawn to catch the first light of day. The timing of these activities was crucial, believed to align with the natural energies of the earth and sky. Harvest time was a period of both celebration and caution. As the fruits of labor were gathered, care was taken to ensure that no ill fortune would befall the yield. The first sheaf of grain was often cut with great ceremony, sometimes fashioned into a corn dolly to be kept over winter as a symbol of fertility and protection. This act was seen as a way to honor the spirit of the harvest and secure the next year's bounty. In some regions, the last sheaf of the season was left standing in the field, a tribute to the Corn Mother, an ancient deity believed to reside within the crops. This gesture was a plea for her continued favor and a promise of future abundance. It was a time of gratitude where the community came together to celebrate the fruits of their collective labor. As the sun set on the fields, the cycle of the farming year drew to a close. The rituals and superstitions that had guided the hands of the farmers were a testament to their enduring faith in forces beyond their control. These practices, passed down through generations, reflected a deep connection to the land and a profound respect for the mysteries of nature. With the harvest safely stored, thoughts turned to the seasons ahead, and the cycle began anew. The farmers, guided by the moon and stars, the whispers of the wind, and the wisdom of their ancestors, would once again prepare the earth for planting, carrying with them the hope for another fruitful year. From the fields, we enter the intimate world of childbirth beliefs, where the mysteries of life continue to unfold. in the gentle embrace of tradition and superstition. In the medieval era, spanning from the 5th to the 15th century, childbirth was enveloped in a tapestry of beliefs and superstitions, each woven with the hope of safeguarding both mother and child. As the miracle of life unfolded, communities across Europe turned to age-old customs, seeking protection and blessings through rituals passed down through generations. The birthing room, often dimly lit and filled with the scent of herbs, became a sacred space where tradition and belief converged. Midwives, revered for their knowledge and experience, played a pivotal role in guiding mothers through the arduous journey of childbirth. Their presence was not only practical, but also deeply symbolic, representing a bridge between the physical and spiritual realms. It was believed that these wise women possessed the ability to ward off malevolent spirits that might seek to harm the vulnerable newborn or the weary mother. Charms and amulets were commonly employed as protective talismans during childbirth. Crafted from materials believed to possess mystical properties, these objects were worn or placed near the birthing bed. For instance, a piece of coral was often used, thought to have the power to ward off evil and bring good fortune. Similarly, the use of red thread or cloth was prevalent, symbolizing life and vitality. These items were not merely decorative, they were imbued with the hopes and prayers of those who believed in their protective power. Prayers, too, played a significant role in the birthing process. Invocations to saints, particularly those associated with childbirth, were recited with fervent devotion. Saint Margaret of Antioch, for instance, was a popular figure invoked for her perceived ability to assist in safe deliveries. Her story, which spoke of triumph over adversity, resonated deeply with those facing the uncertainties of childbirth. The act of prayer provided solace and strength, a reminder that divine intervention was always within reach. Omens and signs surrounding birth were also keenly observed, as they were thought to foretell the future of the newborn. The timing of the birth, the position of the stars, and even the weather on the day of delivery were scrutinized for clues. A child born during a storm might be destined for a tempestuous life, while one arriving under clear skies could be seen as blessed with a smoother path. Such interpretations, though varied across regions, were universally revered as glimpses into the destiny awaiting the new life. In some regions, the practice of churching was an important ritual following childbirth. This ceremony, which involved the mother returning to the church to give thanks for her safe delivery, was both a spiritual cleansing and a community celebration. It marked the mother's reintegration into society, acknowledging her resilience and the successful birth of her child. The rite underscored the communal nature of childbirth, highlighting the support network that surrounded and uplifted the new family. The medieval period was also marked by a fascination with the concept of caul, a rare condition where a baby is born with a portion of the amniotic sac covering its head. This occurrence was considered highly auspicious, believed to endow the child with special protection and abilities. Such a child was thought to be destined for greatness, perhaps even possessing the gift of foresight or exceptional luck. The caul itself was often preserved as a cherished family heirloom, a tangible reminder of the child's unique birth. Superstitions surrounding childbirth extended beyond the immediate event, influencing practices throughout infancy. The first bath, for instance, was a significant ritual, often accompanied by the addition of salt or herbs to the water. This was believed to purify the child and offer protection from harm. Similarly, the choice of a child's name was imbued with meaning, as it was thought to shape their identity and destiny. Names of saints or revered ancestors were favored, serving as a link to the divine in the past. As the medieval world navigated the mysteries of childbirth, these beliefs and practices provided comfort and a sense of control amidst the uncertainties of life. They reflected a deep-seated desire to understand and influence the forces that governed human existence. Though modern science has since demystified many aspects of childbirth, the echoes of these ancient customs linger, a testament to the enduring human spirit and the timeless bond between mother and child. With the arrival of a newborn, families embarked on a journey filled with love, hope, and the promise of new beginnings. From the moment of birth, life unfolded with the potential for endless possibilities, each step a continuation of the rich tapestry of human experience. As we transition from the intimate world of childbirth to the broader horizons of travel customs, we carry with us the knowledge that every journey begins with a single miraculous breath. In the heart of medieval Europe, where cobblestone paths wound through misty forests and bustling towns, the notion of travel was both an adventure and an enigma. The world beyond one's village was often cloaked in mystery, and those who dared to venture forth were armed not only with provisions, but also with a host of superstitions and rituals meant to safeguard their journeys. Travel in the medieval era was fraught with uncertainty. Roads were treacherous, weather unpredictable, and encounters with strangers could be perilous. To counter these dangers, travelers turned to the comfort of superstitions, believing that certain actions or objects could protect them from harm. One common belief was that carrying a piece of bread in one's pocket would ward off evil spirits and ensure a safe passage. This simple yet profound act was thought to appease the spirits of the land, who might otherwise lead a traveler astray. Talismans and charms held a special place in the hearts of medieval travelers. These small objects, often imbued with personal or religious significance, were believed to possess protective powers. A horseshoe, for instance, was a popular talisman. Hung above doorways or carried on journeys, it was thought to bring good luck and ward off malevolent forces. The shape of the horseshoe, resembling the crescent moon, was associated with fertility and protection, drawing on ancient pagan beliefs that had been woven into the fabric of medieval life. Another potent charm was the St. Christopher medal. St. Christopher, the patron saint of travelers, was revered throughout Europe. Pilgrims and merchants alike would carry medals bearing his image, trusting in his guidance and protection as they crossed unfamiliar lands. It was said that invoking his name would prevent accidents and misfortunes, a comforting thought for those who faced the perils of medieval roads. The fear of the unknown was a powerful force in the medieval mind. Lands beyond the familiar horizon were often imagined as realms of wonder and danger, populated by mythical creatures and foreign peoples with strange customs. This fear was not without reason, as tales of travelers encountering dragons or sea monsters were common in the folklore of the time. Such stories served as both cautionary tales and sources of awe, reminding travelers of the vast and mysterious world that lay beyond their own. To navigate these unknown lands, travelers often relied on rituals that were believed to ensure safe passage. One such ritual involved the casting of stones into a river before crossing it. This act was thought to appease the spirits of the water, who might otherwise cause the traveler to fall victim to its currents. Similarly, travelers would often touch wood, a practice that persists today in the form of knocking on wood, to invoke the protection of benevolent spirits residing in trees. The medieval period was also a time when belief in the supernatural was deeply intertwined with daily life. Witches, fairies, and other mythical beings were thought to inhabit the world, influencing events and outcomes. Travelers would sometimes carry iron objects, such as nails or knives, to ward off these creatures, as iron was believed to be a powerful deterrent against malevolent forces. In addition to these protective measures, the alignment of the stars and planets played a significant role in medieval travel superstitions. Astrology was a respected science, and many believed that celestial events could influence earthly affairs. Travelers would consult astrologers to determine the most auspicious times for departure, hoping to harness the favorable influence of the heavens for their journey. The medieval era was a tapestry of beliefs and traditions, where the known and unknown coexisted in a delicate balance. Superstitions and rituals provided a sense of control and reassurance in a world that was often unpredictable and dangerous. For those who dared to explore beyond their familiar surroundings, these practices were essential companions on the road. As the night deepens and the world grows quiet, we are reminded of the courage and curiosity that drove medieval travelers to explore the unknown. Their journeys were marked by a blend of fear and wonder, a testament to the enduring human spirit that seeks to uncover the mysteries of the world. From travel, we face the broader fear of the unknown. In the dim glow of flickering candlelight, medieval Europe was a world where shadows seemed to stretch and whisper secrets to those who dared to listen. It was a time when the unknown loomed large, and fear of what lay beyond the reach of understanding was a constant companion. Yet within this uncertainty, people sought comfort and explanations, weaving a tapestry of beliefs and stories that offered solace in the face of mystery. The fear of the unknown has long been a powerful force in human society, shaping behaviors and beliefs across cultures and eras. In medieval Europe, this fear was often intertwined with the supernatural, manifesting in a rich tapestry of superstitions. These beliefs were not mere flights of fancy, but served a vital psychological function, offering a sense of control in a world filled with unpredictability. The medieval mind, grappling with the mysteries of nature and existence, turned to these superstitions as a way to make sense of the inexplicable. Superstitions provided a framework through which people could navigate the uncertainties of life. The belief in omens, for instance, was widespread. A crow perched on a rooftop could foretell misfortune, while a rainbow might promise a change in fortune. These signs were interpreted as messages from the divine or the supernatural, offering guidance in a world where the line between reality and the mystical was often blurred. Such beliefs were deeply rooted in the cultural fabric of the time, influencing decisions and actions in both mundane and significant matters. The psychological comfort offered by superstitions cannot be understated. In a world where disease, famine, and war were ever-present threats, the idea that one could influence fate through rituals or charms was deeply reassuring. This sense of agency, however illusory, provided a buffer against the harsh realities of medieval life. The belief in protective symbols or rituals, such as the wearing of amulets or the recitation of specific prayers, offered a semblance of control over an uncertain future. Storytelling played a crucial role in managing the fear of the unknown. Through tales passed down from generation to generation, communities could confront their fears in a safe and controlled environment. These stories often featured mythical creatures and supernatural events, reflecting the anxieties and hopes of the society that created them. By personifying fears in the form of dragons, witches, or spirits, storytellers provided a means to explore and ultimately conquer these anxieties. In addition to providing entertainment, these narratives served as moral guides, teaching lessons about courage, wisdom, and resilience. The tales of heroes who faced and overcame great challenges offered inspiration and hope, suggesting that even the darkest fears could be vanquished with bravery and determination. The shared experience of listening to and telling these stories also fostered a sense of community, reinforcing social bonds and collective identity. The role of the church in shaping medieval beliefs about the unknown was significant. Religious teachings often intersected with local superstitions, creating a complex web of beliefs that was both sacred and secular. The church provided explanations for natural phenomena that were otherwise mysterious, attributing them to divine will or the actions of saints. This integration of religious doctrine with folk beliefs helped to reinforce the authority of the Church while offering believers a coherent worldview that encompassed both the seen and unseen. The fear of the unknown, while daunting, also spurred curiosity and exploration. The desire to understand and explain the mysteries of the world led to advances in various fields, including medicine, astronomy, and philosophy. Medieval scholars, working within the constraints of their time, sought to reconcile faith with reason, laying the groundwork for future intellectual developments. This quest for knowledge, driven by a blend of fear and wonder, ultimately contributed to the gradual transformation of society. As the candlelight flickers and the shadows dance, we are reminded of the enduring power of stories and beliefs in shaping our understanding of the world. The superstitions and tales of medieval Europe, born from a deep-seated fear of the unknown, continue to echo through the ages, offering insights into the human condition. From fear, we reflect on the legacy of these beliefs. In the dim glow of candlelight, medieval Europe was a place where the veil between the known and the unknown seemed thin and permeable. Superstitions, like whispers carried on the wind, wove themselves into the fabric of daily life, leaving traces that continue to echo through time. These beliefs, born from a world where mystery and danger lurked in the shadows, have evolved yet persist in unexpected corners of modern culture. During the medieval period, the fear of the unknown was a constant companion. The world was a tapestry of unexplained phenomena, where the supernatural was as real as the earth beneath one's feet. Superstitions offered a semblance of understanding and control over the unpredictable forces that governed existence. It was a time when the howl of a wolf might signal an ill omen, or the sighting of a comet could foretell calamity. One of the enduring superstitions from this era is the belief in the power of the number 13. Rooted in medieval numerology, 13 was seen as a symbol of misfortune, a belief that still holds sway in modern times. Today, buildings might skip the 13th floor, and the date, Friday the 13th, is often regarded with apprehension, a testament to the lasting impact of these ancient fears. Medieval superstitions also found fertile ground in the realm of literature and art. Tales of witches and wizards, enchanted forests, and mythical creatures populated the stories of the time, capturing the imagination of audiences and embedding themselves into cultural consciousness. These narratives, rich with magical elements, laid the groundwork for the fantastical worlds that enchant readers today. The works of J.R.R. Tolkien and J.K. Rowling, for example, owe much to the medieval tradition of weaving the mystical into storytelling. Art, too, bears the imprint of medieval superstitions. The intricate tapestries and illuminated manuscripts of the time often featured symbolic imagery meant to ward off evil or invoke protection. Gargoyles, those stone sentinels perched atop cathedrals, were believed to scare away malevolent spirits. This blend of art and superstition has inspired countless artists through the centuries, leading to modern interpretations that continue to captivate the imagination. The medieval fascination with the mystical and unknown extends beyond art and literature into the realm of modern beliefs. The practice of astrology, with its roots in ancient and medieval thought, remains a popular pursuit for those seeking guidance from the stars. Likewise, the use of charms and amulets, once believed to protect against the evil eye or bring good fortune, persists in various forms, from lucky rabbit's feet to four-leaf clovers. The enduring allure of superstitions lies in their ability to provide comfort and explanation in a world that often defies understanding. They remind us of a time when the line between reality and the supernatural was blurred, inviting us to consider the possibilities that lie beyond the tangible. In an age of science and technology, the continued fascination with the mystical suggests an intrinsic human desire to explore the unknown, to find meaning in the inexplicable. As we reflect on the legacy of medieval superstitions, it becomes clear that these beliefs are more than relics of a distant past. They are threads woven into the tapestry of human culture, influencing how we perceive the world and our place within it. Whether through the stories we tell, the art we create, or the beliefs we hold, the echoes of medieval superstitions continue to resonate, inviting us to delve into the mysteries that lie just beyond the edge of the known. And so, as the moon casts its gentle glow upon the world, we find ourselves drawn to the shadows, to the whispers of history that speak of a time when the world was alive with magic and possibility. With the legacy understood, we conclude our journey. As we gently close the pages of our journey through the labyrinthine world of medieval superstitions, let us pause to reflect on the rich tapestry of beliefs that once shaped the lives of those who walked before us. This era, spanning from the fall of the Roman Empire to the dawn of the Renaissance, was imbued with an enchanting blend of myth and reality, where the unseen was as real as the tangible. In the shadowy corners of medieval Europe, the belief in supernatural forces was woven into the very fabric of daily life. From the haunting whispers of banshees in the misty hills of Ireland to the ominous presence of witches in remote villages, these tales offered explanations and comfort in a world often fraught with uncertainty. The people of this era lived in close communion with nature, and their superstitions reflected a deep respect for the mysteries of the natural world. The medieval mind saw the world as a place where magic and reality intertwined. This was a time when the flight of a bird or the sudden appearance of a rainbow could hold profound meaning. The phases of the moon were believed to influence everything from crop growth to human behavior, casting a silvery glow of mystery over the land. Such beliefs provided a framework for understanding the unpredictable rhythms of life and death. One of the most captivating aspects of these superstitions was their ability to imbue the ordinary with a sense of wonder. A simple stone might be seen as a protective amulet, warding off evil spirits. The sound of a church bell could disperse storms and drive away malevolent forces. Each belief, no matter how fantastical, served a purpose, offering solace and a semblance of control over the unknown. The medieval period was also a time of convergence, where ancient pagan traditions mingled with emerging religious doctrines. This fusion created a unique spiritual landscape, where saints and spirits coexisted, and sacred relics were revered for their miraculous powers. The veneration of such relics offered hope and healing to those seeking divine intervention in their lives. As we bid farewell to this mystical journey, let us appreciate the beauty and complexity of these ancient beliefs. They remind us of the human desire to seek meaning and connection amidst the vastness of existence. In a world where the line between the seen and unseen was blurred, every shadow held a story, and every whisper carried a hint of magic. As you drift into slumber, allow your mind to wander back to those distant times. Imagine the flickering candlelight casting dancing shadows on stone walls, the rustle of leaves whispering secrets of old, and the gentle hum of a world alive with mystery. Let the echoes of medieval superstitions lull you into a peaceful dream, where the past and present intertwine in a tapestry of timeless wonder. In this serene moment, may the gentle embrace of sleep carry you to a realm where the spirit of ancient tales continues to weave its magic. Rest well, dear reader, and may your dreams be filled with the enchanting mysteries of a world long past. And with these glimpses into the past, we close tonight's reading. May these stories bring you peace and rest as you drift into sleep.